Hello and welcome to Bees for Baking. Today, it's a cold and rainy day here in Georgia, so I decided to make some comfort food. And nothing says comfort to me than a warm, creamy plate of baked mac and cheese. So, let's see the ingredients we are going to need. 2 cups of whole milk, 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a quarter teaspoon of ground pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a package of cooked pasta, cooked 2 minutes less than the instructions of the box, a sleeve of Ritz crackers, and 10 ounces of shredded cheese. I used a mix of Colby Jack, Mozzarella, and Velveeta. For a full recipe, check the description box down below. So the first thing we're going to do is set the oven at 400 Fahrenheit. Next, on a heavy bottom pot, on a medium heat, we will do our roux. Roux is a mixture of flour and butter that is used to thicken sauces. This will make the mac and cheese extra creamy. So we will add the butter and we will melt it completely before adding the flour. So I will use my wooden spoon and I will break all the lumps the flour might have. Once it's nice and bubbly, we will add the whole milk. So I will add the milk all at once and I'm going to switch to a metal whisk. I'm going to keep stirring and I will add the salt along with the pepper. It's important that you keep stirring constantly because if you don't do it, the flour will sit at the bottom of the pot and then it will start to burn. After 5 minutes or so, it should start to thicken. Keep stirring until it looks creamy, like a light sauce. And remove it from the fire and let it sit on the side. So to bake this mac and cheese, you're going to need a heat-resistant baking dish like this one. And we will butter it up. I'm using a brush, but feel free to use your fingers. The next step is to mix the cooked pasta with the sauce. The reason that the pasta needs to be undercooked is that we will give it a bake in the oven. And if the pasta is well done, it will overcook and you will end up with a lumpy, mushy mess. Personally, I think one of the worst things to eat is like eating mushy pasta. So just make sure to cook it 2-3 minutes less than the instructions of the box. So mix it well and be gentle with it. You don't want to stir too hard and break the pasta. Now you can use any type of pasta that you like. This is completely up to you. My husband picked the shell shape that you're seeing right now, and you can pretty much use anything. You can even use a spaghetti if you feel crazy like that. We will add the cheese and leave 1/3 of the whole amount out, and we will use it as a topping later. We're gonna mix very well, and then we will transfer to the butter baking dish. Transfer all the mac and cheese to the baking dish and use your same spatula to even it out. You can use a wooden spoon as well. So after that, top it with all the cheese that you have left. And I know this recipe calls for a lot of cheese, but to me, there's a problem if you can see the macaroni. That means that you need more cheese. The last step before going to the oven is to top it with Ritz crackers. And this is where you can just let all the anger out, break them in the same sleeve, just bang it a couple of times on the countertop. And this part is optional. This is up to you. I love a crunchy topping on a baked mac and cheese because you have the creaminess of the mac and cheese and just the Ritz crackers. It's just a great texture. I think it goes very well, but if you don't want to add Ritz crackers, just leave them out. Make a nice even layer of crackers. And this recipe is extra in all sorts of ways. So I will add bits of butter on top of it because why not? I will put it on top of a cookie tray just to handle it more easily. And this will go to bake for about 20 minutes or until the Ritz crackers are golden brown. So after 20 minutes, my baked mac and cheese is ready. So I'm going to remove it from the oven and I will let it sit for about 5 minutes before serving it. This is the creamiest and cheesiest mac and cheese you'll ever make. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. I hope you give it a try and let me know how to go. If you like this video and you would like to see more recipes like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I have a new recipe every week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Labor Day weekend and I will see you next week. Bye bye!